Right, buckle up buttercups, because London's about to get spicier than a vindaloo in a heatwave. Picture this. It's sweltering hot. You're stuck in London traffic. Your car's turning into a mobile sauna, and suddenly the mayor pops up on your phone telling you to switch off your engine. Oh, and by the way, that'll be £12.50 for driving through his shiny new tax zone. Thank you very much. Sound familiar? Well, grab your pitchforks and protest signs, because London's drivers have officially had enough, and Sadiq Khan feeling the heat, and we're not just talking about the weather. Now, before we dive into this absolute circus, let me paint you a picture. London in August, temperatures hitting 32 degrees, which for us Brits is basically the surface of Mars. The tarmac's melting, everyone's walking around like sweaty beetroots, and what does City Hall do? They slap us with a high air pollution alert and tell us not to idle our engines, because apparently, sitting in gridlock traffic for 2 hours wasn't punishment enough. Now we need to turn our cars into mobile ovens while we wait. But here's where it gets juicy. The Deputy Mayor for Environment and Energy, yes, that's actually someone's job title, meet Cobin, has the absolute audacity to tell Londoners to stop their engines idling while they're cooking alive in 30-plus degree heat. It's like telling someone not to use an umbrella in a thunderstorm because it might offend the rain clouds. And the best part? This pollution alert isn't even our fault. Imperial College London, you know, those clever clogs with their fancy degrees, they've advised City Hall that the real culprit is airflow from mainland Europe. That's right, folks, even our air pollution is imported. We're literally breathing in Europe's leftovers, and somehow that's become London drivers' problem to solve. Now, let's talk numbers, because this is where Khan's administration gets really creative with their storytelling. They are claiming that London's toxic air is responsible for around 4,000 premature deaths in the capital each year. 4,000. That's more people than attend most Premier League matches. But here's the kicker. They're using these terrifying statistics to justify their beloved ultra-low emission zone, while conveniently ignoring the fact that most of this pollution is floating over from our European neighbors like some sort of atmospheric refugee crisis. Speaking of ULEZ, where do we even begin with this masterpiece of political genius? Khan's team is absolutely desperate to convince us that this glorified congestion charge dressed up as environmental activism is actually saving the planet. They are throwing around statistics like confetti at a wedding, claiming that harmful nitrogen dioxide emissions are 54% lower in central London than they would be without ULEZ. 54%. That's suspiciously specific, isn't it? Almost like they reverse-engineered the numbers to make the pet project look good. But wait, there's more. They are telling us that London is now on track to reach legal air pollution levels within the next year, a staggering 184 years earlier than previous projections. 184 years. What were the previous projections based on the heat death of the universe? Were they planning to solve air pollution by waiting for all the cars to rust away naturally? Here's what really gets my goat, though. They are boasting that almost 97% of vehicles seen driving on an average day are now ULEZ compliant, compared to just 37% in 2017. Of course they are. When you literally charge people £12.50 to drive their slightly older cars into the city, what do you expect? It's like bragging that fewer people are jaywalking after you've installed landmines on the roads. But the real comedy gold comes when we look at how this whole pollution alert system actually works. These high air pollution alerts are displayed at public locations across the capital, on bus stop countdown signs and the underground network. So picture this. You're waiting for a bus that's inevitably delayed, staring at a sign that's basically saying, "By the way, the air you're breathing right now might kill you, but don't worry, we've got it covered." It's like putting up a sign saying, "Danger, wet paint," after someone's already sat on the bench. And then there's Khan himself, taking to social media like some sort of environmental warrior, warning people about high pollution rates and urging them to take sensible precautions to stay cool. Sensible precautions. Like what, exactly? Stop breathing? Develop gills? Move to Scotland? The man's got the nerve to create a system that makes driving in London more expensive than a Michelin-starred meal, then tells us it's for our own good while European pollution drifts over like an unwelcome dinner guest. The cherry on top of this absurd cake is the UK Health Security Agency's Amber Heat Health Alert, issued from 9 in the morning until 6 in the evening on a Wednesday. Because apparently, heat is only dangerous during business hours. After 6 p.m., you're free to spontaneously combust without government interference. Khan's social media post reads like a concerned grandmother's WhatsApp message. It's important that Londoners look after themselves and those who find it more difficult to cope with hot weather, older people, babies, and infants, and those with a physical or mental health condition. He might as well have added, make sure you wear clean underwear in case you get hit by a bus. But here's what's really happening behind all this environmental theatre. London's drivers are absolutely furious, and they're not hiding it anymore. Social media is exploding with protests. Petitions are flying around faster than Khan can say clean air, and the general consensus seems to be that enough is enough. When you've got millions of drivers essentially saying we've had it up to here with your green taxes masquerading as health initiatives, you know you've pushed too far. The Met Office, bless their hearts, is instructing motorists to make sure they take water with them when traveling. Water. Because the real problem isn't the extortionate charges or the impossible traffic conditions. It's that we're not staying hydrated while we're being financially drained. It's like telling someone who's being mugged to remember to stretch before running away. What particularly galling about this whole situation is the timing. We're dealing with the fourth heat wave of the year, the fourth. And instead of focusing on actual solutions like improving public transport or creating more green spaces, the response is to wag fingers at drivers and remind them about engine idling. Because clearly, the solution to climate change is making sure Dave from Croydon turns off his Ford Focus while he's stuck in traffic for 3 hours. The really insidious part of all this is how Khan's administration has managed to turn basic environmental concerns into a cash grab while simultaneously making drivers feel guilty for existing. They created this perfect storm where you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. Drive your car? That's $12.50, please, plus you're personally responsible for killing 4,000 people a year. Don't drive your car? Well, good luck getting anywhere on public transport that's more expensive than a taxi and less reliable than British weather forecasts. And let's not forget the beautiful irony that while they are telling us not to idle our engines, they are creating policies that ensure more idling than ever before. When you've got cars queuing to pay ULEZ charges, circling blocks looking for parking, and stuck in traffic jams caused by reduced road capacity, you're essentially turning the entire city into one giant idling zone. The protest movement that's building isn't just about the money, though £12.50 a day adds up faster than Khan's environmental promises disappear. It's about the fundamental unfairness of being blamed for problems you didn't create and being charged for solutions that don't work. It's about being lectured by politicians who probably haven't driven themselves anywhere in years, while actual working people are choosing between heating their homes and driving to work. What we're witnessing is a perfect example of how environmental policy can go spectacularly wrong when it's designed by people who think the solution to everything is more taxes and more restrictions. Instead of investing in genuine solutions like better public transport, cleaner energy, or actually addressing the imported pollution issue, they've chosen the path of least resistance, blame the drivers and charge them for the privilege. The funniest part? Khan genuinely seems surprised that people are angry. It's like he expected Londoners to throw him a parade for the privilege of paying extra to breathe slightly less European pollution. The man's living in a bubble so thick you could probably charge ULEZ fees to get through it. But here's the thing about bubbles. They always burst eventually. And when millions of drivers are united in their frustration, when petition signatures are mounting faster than ULEZ fines, and when even the most environmentally conscious Londoners are starting to question whether this is really about clean air or just clean profit margins, you know change is coming. The establishment might want us to believe that this is all about protecting public health and saving the environment. But when your environmental policy looks suspiciously like a stealth tax, when your clean air initiatives seem designed more to clean out wallets than clean up emissions, and when your solution to imported pollution is to charge local drivers, people start asking the right questions. So whether Khan's scared or just stubborn, whether this protest movement grows into something big or fizzles out like most British summers, one thing's for certain. London's drivers have found their voice, and they are not going to be lectured into submission by politicians who've never had to choose between paying ULEZ charges and paying the rent. The revolution might not be televised, but it's definitely going to be expensive to drive to. Thanks for watching UK Pancakes, and remember, keep your engines running and your protest louder than Khan's excuses.